So One Piece's new starter deck is just around the corner, and today we're going to have a look at it right here, which is starter deck 11, the Uta starter deck. Now, is it as good as starter deck 10, the last of the 3 captains, the last one that we just had? Who knows? But speaking of that question, if you haven't seen our video where we talk about the event and some of the cards that are in this deck and some cards you can use to optimize the deck, go check out the video. We'll leave it in the card up above. And as well, there's been some new information since we made that video. There's been some pictures and other stuff coming out about how instead of everyone who's participating receiving 8 cards, they're only receiving 1 of the participant cards instead of all 8. But then there's been a post by Mana saying they're going to make up with that, going to send up some more kits, stuff like that. Not sure exactly how that's going to look like, but if you want to know some tips and tricks on how to best play that event, go check that video out. But today we're going to be checking out the deck here. As we can see in hand cam, it's nice and big. I like how they're still sticking with like the manga side panel stuff there. Oh, and as well, giveaway. We can't forget the giveaway. Giveaway is actually going to be one of these right here. So if you want your chance to win one of these right here, all you have to do is like the video, be a subscriber of the channel, and let us know what your favorite thing is out of this new starter deck. So as we are snipping the sides here, this starter deck does contain, I guess, your standard starter deck stuff. You got your cards, your Don, your playmat, but there's a lot of reprints in here, which we haven't actually seen out of a starter deck as of yet. So we pull this out here. Here's the mat, I think it's just the standard one there. Nothing too fancy. Yep, just the standard one. And this different packaging to what we usually have there. We'll get that out. There's nothing else hiding in. Nothing else hiding in that box. So this is what comes in your nice sleeve. We'll get this open. The Don's at the back. Let's have a look at those first, just so they should just be standard ones. Yeah, nothing too exciting there, just some standard Dons. Pop them up the side, and then now we can look at the starter deck itself. So first of all, we're going to be looking at Uta, the leader. So mono green, 5,000 power, 5 life. Don ×1 when attacking once per turn. Reveal 1 card from the top of your deck. If it's a film card, you can add it to your hand. Otherwise, the rest go to the bottom of the deck. So in this starter deck, everything is film, so you're always going to be drawing one when you're playing just the starter deck. Otherwise, some optimized builds mostly run film stuff, so usually that will be a draw one for you, which will be pretty nice. So, nice holographic one right there. Now, we will then have a look at the next shiny bit of carbo, which is one of the super rares that we get out of the deck, which is the Uta character. Costs you 3, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter, is a blocker. End of your turn, you may trash one event card from your hand, set one of your film characters as active. So very similar to the Borsalino promo, which we had from events, but this nice cheaper version, nice looking version as well, coming out of this starter deck. So we get 2 of these. We'll pop them up the back. And the other bit of shiny cardboard that we get in this deck is New Genesis. So cost you 1 main if your leader is Uta, which it is. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 film to your hand other than New Genesis, then the rest go to the bottom of the deck in any order. Then you get to set one of your Don cards as active. So basically this is a free search. So nice card there, and we do get just 2 of these in the deck. Oh, speaking of 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s of cards, if you want to see a budget build of this deck here, so if you want to combine 2 of these decks together to make a build, let us know in the comment section below. We're happy to do that. We usually do that for these starter decks. So first of all, we're heading to our first lot of reprints. So Brook from OPO2, the film. Brook, 4 cost, 5,000 power, 1,000 counter. On play, you can play 1 film or straw hat character with a cost of 3 or less from your hand, which is really nice. We get a full playset of Brook. Then we move on to Luffy, which is a reprint of a rare from OPO2. This is 7 cost, 7,000 power, no counter, blocker. On play, you can play 1 film or straw hat character with a cost of 4 or less from your hand. So you play the Luffy, you usually want to play the Brook, and then your Brook plays you something else. And I believe we also do get 4 copies of the Luffy. Next, we get the Usopp, which is the vanilla, 3 cost, 5,000 power, 1,000 counter, film straw hat type. We get 4 of the Usopp as well. Then we also get another playset of vanilla, which is Jinbei, 2 cost, 4,000 power, 1,000 counter, film, fishman, and straw hat type, 4 of them. Tony Toe Chopper, the only 2k counter found in the deck, 2 cost, 2000 power. On times 1 attacking, you can rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 2 or less. So if you're playing the event, don't use that effect, just use the 2k counter, and you do get 4 of them. The Law is the next 2 cost character that we have with 3000 power, 1000 counter. Activate main, rest the Don. You may return this character to your hand. You can play one character with a cost of 3 or less. And we get a full playset of Law. Nico Robin is the next one. 3 cost, 4000 body, 1000 counter. On play, you can play one film or Straw Hat type character with a cost of 2 or less from your hand. So a cool little combo you can actually do if you're going to play this deck. You have your Law out, say you've swung with Law, you use a Don to return Law to your hand. You then play the Robin, which then lets you replay the Law, or you can play the Jinbei, which you looked at just before as well. So a couple of cool options there. So we do get a full playset of Robin. What do you think of the film strips? I think it's a cool little thing for the film kind of archetype there. Next is another vanilla in Frankie. 5 cost, 7000 power, 1000 counter. The film Straw Hat type. Next we have Zorro, another vanilla, 4 cost, 6000 power, 1000 counter. We do get 4 of these. Yeah, scenes from the film. I actually haven't looked at those in much detail. Okay, next we get an event. The first, or I guess the second event we're looking at. The cost you 3. It's a counter up to one of your leader characters gains 6,000 power. Nice and massive for the battle. Then you can play a character with a cost of 3 or less that doesn't have an effect. So you can play the Usops and the Jinbeis. They're basically the targets that you can play off 3 sword style onigiri. The triggers, you can rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters with a cost of 5 or less. So quite handy. Rest pretty much anything in the starter deck except for the blocker Luffy. So just keep that in mind if you're playing the event. And we do get 4 of Zorro doing some boss things here. Next is a new event that we have access to, which is Blacklight. Cost you 2. If your leader is Uta, you can choose one of the following. You either rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less, or you can KO one of your opponent's characters that is rested with a cost of 5 or less. I believe this is the other one that we get 2 of. Yep, just get 2 of these here. So everything else in the deck, except for the ones we can see up in the background there, are coming at a full playset. The next new one that we have is I'm Invincible. Cost you 3. Main, set one of your Uta leaders as active. Trigger, up to one of your leader characters gains 1000 power during this turn. So the main effect makes this Uta very similar to Starter Deck Kid, where you get to rest 3 Dom to restand, but in that case you also have to trash a card. Whereas this works out to the same amount of cards used. You have to have this in your hand to activate that restand ability, but turns Uta into a mini Captain Kid. And we do get ourselves a full playset of that right there, and that's the whole deck right there. So really good for people who missed out on OPO2, that is for sure. Some great cards. The film package is really nice, as we can see had a lot of success with Captain Kid, but at the same time I'm slightly disappointed because it's mainly just filled with reprints. We got the new leader and 1, 2, 3, 4 new cards out of the deck, which is a little bit disappointing in my opinion, but as I said, good for those people that have missed out on some of these cards. What is probably a real big disappointment for me is there's no Nami Searcher, the main film Searcher, the super rare from OPO2. Surely maybe you could have had a couple of these in the deck there as well, but that's how life is sometimes. But that's all we have for this video here. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. Don't forget to enter the giveaway. Make sure you are a subscriber, you like the video, and let us know what your favorite thing out of the starter deck is here. I would probably have to say the blocker, this one right here, the blocker Uta, is probably my favorite card out of the deck right here. But thank you so much for checking out the video. Stay beautiful, and we'll see you all in the next one.